breaking news out of the EU LCS, or at least a report that was released by ESPN, has a lot of big changes coming to Europe. And it kind of comes off the back of H2K going up to Riot and being like, hey, make some changes, or we're leaving, I guess, or something like that.
We're done with League of Legends. And of course, there were 4 other teams who had applied for the NA franchising. So clearly, a lot of the EU teams putting a lot of pressure on Riot, and they decided to do something.
Yeah, and that something is apparently going to like a Champions League style where there's a domestic league and then a greater league. So there's going to be 24 teams split up into 4 regions, which are London, Paris, Berlin, and Barcelona. How you go about choosing which region you're in, I don't fully know yet, but I guess the teams that have a spot get to decide based on where they're located.
Yeah, I guess they get first dibs, the 10 teams already in the LCS. Maybe the challenger teams too. I mean, you've got to basically just implement the challenger teams, right? So
yeah, basically.
Just because, like, here's the main 2 issues I see with this format. 24 teams is a lot of teams. They were talking about going to 12, and I was kind of like that. There's already some pretty bad teams with 10 and 12. It'll be bad. 24, I mean, you're looking at least a couple, maybe half of every group is going to be bad. There's basically going to be 2 or 3 good teams in every group, and then the rest are going to be terrible.
It's 120 players that have to be on a team, on a professional team, to be able to fill these 24 spots. I'm pretty sure that's more than an actual challenger ladder.
Just bring everyone in from challenger, even masters. Bring them all in.
There's going to have to be, which is pretty insane. So the way it works, 6 teams in each region, and then the top 2 automatically go on to the greater league. And then there's other ways to qualify with 16 teams in this greater league. And it's very confusing. But basically, this article came out saying that there's going to be this massive change to this crazy system. I'm not sure how much of it is true or false, but it seems to be that the direction that EU is going in, which is pretty massive and drastic change.
I mean, they did clearly need some kind of change, so I guess kudos to Riot for listening and doing something. And I think some of the people involved have said that this isn't a perfect system if this is what they're going for, and there's still ongoing talks with Riot. Maybe there'll be more changes going forward, and yeah, maybe we don't have all the details out there yet, but I mean, if only 2 teams are getting through from each group, I don't even know if there's going to be competition outside of those top 2. I feel like there's only going to be 2 good ones in each group. So, I mean, that might be pretty cut and dry. Oh, look, G2's in this group. They're going to get through.
You're saying they're going to beat this newly formed team made of Masters and Diamond 2 players?
I mean, NIP might be a top 4 team in their group, or a top
Origin
3 team.
might be a top 4 team.
Oh, man. And, I mean, maybe the import rules are going to completely change, and you're just going to have full Chinese, full Korean, full NA teams. Anyone out, if you couldn't get into NA franchising, maybe you just go into this league. I don't exactly know how that's going to work, but another one of the other issues is you already saw viewership definitely dip for the EU LCS this split. So if there's 4 different regions, I don't know if they're broadcasting them at similar times. And if they are, then that's definitely an issue. And if they're not, when it's still split up 4 ways, people are only going to watch the ones with the teams they care about.
Yes.
So I feel like the numbers are only going to go down for their viewers.
Yeah, I agree, especially in these lower tier matches. It's not going to be very entertaining whatsoever.
Well, it might be entertaining.
In a Clown Fiesta kind of way. Yeah, I guess so. But you're not going to have the draw from those players that you want to see or anything like that. And also, I mean, EU has also kind of struggled with their talent pool in terms of actually like having broadcasters and showcasters. And now if you have 4 different broadcasting studios, I don't know where they're going to draw that talent from. So right now it's pretty much the Fishio and Quickshot hauling the entire cast with a couple other newer guys in there as well. But they definitely have some stuff to figure out before they get this off the ground.
Yeah, I think with broadcast teams as well, they're probably going to be bringing people in from other regions just to fill all their different broadcast stations. But it's going to be very interesting. The EU and NA LCS going to look very different next split.